Hello everybody, how are we all today? I hope you're all staying afloat during this difficult time of the coronavirus. I know it's difficult for a lot of businesses. So for example, the businesses that we run in terms of the problem property businesses, the serviced accommodation that we run, the sourcing business that we run, and also our investment company as well. They're all facing difficult times, but it's really, really important that you use this time to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't do, and focus on the positives rather than the negatives as well. I mean, there's probably a lot of things that you've been putting on the back foot for a long time that you can get done now, and it's a really good time to also market yourself and put yourself out there and build up a pipeline for when we come out of this. As you can see, I'm in my I'm in my living room at the moment. Stay at home and everything like that. The ceiling up there is plastered, still needing paint, which is actually another positive that I can take from this, is that we can do a little bit of housework and make our house look a little bit better as we're stuck at home. So yeah, this video is quite different to the normal videos that I usually put out. And the topic of this video is to do with, confidence, mental health, stress, anxiety, and also pushing yourself out your comfort zone. So I thought I'd just do something different today, and I've got like a little PowerPoint thing that I'm just going to go through of the notes I've sort of taken as well. So it is a bit different, this video that I'm doing right now, but what we've always sort of said on our platforms, the Do God Property platforms, through YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever we put our content out on, I've always said that it's not just about property, and we have a personal element to our business, and we want to create a personal brand as well as a business brand within Do God Property. So we're also going to be we also do and want to talk more about the motivation, business generally, and also mindset. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about my experience with with confidence and mental health and anxiety and stuff like this. So if I roll back to about a year ago, my anxiety was really, really bad. So I was at a stage where any sort of social situation, I really didn't want to do it. I didn't want to network. I wouldn't do any Facebook Lives. I wouldn't want to get on video like I am now. There was nothing I really wanted to do in terms of social sort of networking or anything like that. I would always have panic attacks, and the sort of other symptoms that I would find in situations like that was sweating, shaking, and just your mind going completely blank as well. Even though you know your stuff and you can articulate if you're in a comfortable situation, I just felt like I couldn't, and when it got to it, I would just freeze and stuff like that, which was obviously quite a horrible sensation, and one that a lot of people actually experience as well. Within Do God Property as our business, I have developed quite a lot. I wouldn't say, I'm going to speak more about my development and where I'm at the moment and how I want to improve more. But within Do God Property, it's brilliant, and it's we're quite lucky that we have Hannah, who is a very confident person in terms of public speaking, and very, very good at talking to the investors and stuff like that. I mean, I've done a lot of talking to investors as well, but it's taken a lot for me to get there, and I've had to take actions in order to thrive in that department. So yeah, a lot of people don't believe me when I say that I've got very bad anxiety and confidence issues. Whenever I've sort of spoke to people about that, they've said I just don't see it. But honestly, right, if I have to do if I have to go to a networking event, or I have to do a Facebook Live, or a podcast, a webinar, anything like that, especially public speaking, I think about it for days, and sometimes I struggle to sleep because I'm so worried about it. And it's if you're going through these sort of things, it's just important to know that you're not the only one, and you will get through it. And there are stages where I really, really don't want to do things, and I just have to push myself out my comfort zone and do it. I also find that when I'm doing things like public speaking, or a live or a podcast or something like that, to begin with, I'm very, very, very nervous, and just before we start, I'm always, shaking, and I don't think I'm going to be able to articulate what I want to articulate, which is really, really frustrating because I know my stuff. It's just getting it out there. But when it gets a couple of minutes in, I always find that I start to settle, and then my brain starts to be more clearer and I start to articulate better. So I always bear that in mind as well. So I always think to myself, I know that I just need to go through those first couple of minutes, and then everything's going to start settling and the anxiety's still going to start, lowering down. So, so that's sort of my experience of it. But I have got a lot better in situations like lives, videos, client meetings, all that sort of thing. But I'm still not 100% there. I still get anxious a lot during those things. But public speaking, I'm definitely not there yet. I mean, I've done a few public speaking things recently, but they haven't been long talks, and I have got very, very nervous through them. And a lot of people have probably noticed that I'm a little bit nervous as well. But like as I said, it takes a couple of minutes to get into it. And then you find that you just start to settle and things start to articulate a little better. So I just want to talk a little bit about the things that I've done to improve to get to where I am now. And statistically, 1 in 5 people do have anxiety to a degree where they need to sort of take action and make active changes in order to better themselves and put themselves in situations that can help them grow and self-develop. So even if I help one person here on this video, I'd be really, really happy. So things that I've done is the number one thing that I believe is absolutely brilliant in order to grow and overcome anxiety is exposure. So if you fear something that you really, really fear, just put yourself in that situation as much as you possibly can and tackle it face on. And I really do believe that works. For example, I'm just got a little notes of here of the things that sort of I've done. So there's a group called Toastmasters, and they pretty much have it in every city, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's a very, very supportive environment where you can learn to build your leadership skills, build your public speaking skills, and build all of that sort of thing. And it's a very cheap as well. It's not profit driven at all. I think you could pay something along the lines of £50 for 6 months, and they give you they give you topics of what you can talk on, and then you go away, you develop your presentation, and then you come back and do your presentation for say 10-15 minutes. Sometimes you can make exceptions to ask for a little bit lower to begin with so you can build up your confidence. But they also give you other situations to talk, like table topics, where you'll stand in front of the audience and they'll give you a topic on the spot and you've got to talk about it for 2 minutes. Yes, it's very daunting. Yes, it's very scary, but I've done it quite a few times, and I have had to stop sometimes, but there's such a support environment and it's some way you can definitely grow. I also feel like, network as much as you possibly can. Just put yourself in those situations, because a year ago, I used to hate networking. I would hate talking to clients. I'd hate any sort of thing. But now I find networking quite easy now. Like, I do enjoy networking, and I seem to get a lot of clients from networking, and relationships have developed brilliantly through me putting myself out my comfort zone and just doing it. Force yourselves onto Facebook Lives, force yourself onto podcasts, go to that interview that you're scared to go to in assessment centres. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Just go there and expose yourself and just learn. If you don't get it, who cares? If you don't get the interview or you don't get the job, who cares? Just go and learn, and then you'll develop yourself, and you will develop. And take opportunities as well. Any opportunities that you get, you don't know what's going to come off it, and then how you're going to get more exposure and be able to develop even more. So, for example, there was we are on the NatWest Accelerator program, which is all to do with entrepreneurs. And during that program, they push you out your comfort zone massively, where you talk about your business in front of everyone in the room, which is obviously very good for the business side of things, because we got a lot of business from that. But also it's pushing yourself out your comfort zone and helping you grow. And every time you go to a meeting with your business coach there, they ask you to pitch your business, which is obviously quite scary. But it's putting you in loads of different situations within that program where you can develop as a person, and it's definitely helped me. Also, the opportunities that I've taken is went to a business boot camp Business in Focus, which is basically a Welsh-based government-backed program, and it's absolutely brilliant because it's helped us a lot with our business. But on top of that, it's pushed me out my comfort zone again and put me in situations where, you know, I feel very, very anxious, but I've grown as a person, and when I've finished those, you know, those presentations or whatever they want me to do, or interviews, or what do you call them, I can't remember what they're called that they did, but anyway, putting myself in all those sort of situations, you just really, really do grow as a person. Yeah, so there's a few things that I wanted to talk about as well. Other things that really helped. Well, I've got about 6 or 7 things that have really, really helped me. So the next one is books. Reading self-development books. One that I really do recommend is this one that I've got here, which is the Chimp Paradox. As you can see, it's pretty much my Bible. I've got like sticky notes everywhere on the good points and the things that I can refer back to. But pretty much what it's about is it's about the fact that through evolution, you know, we used to be apes, and through evolution we've still got those primitive instincts and the animal instincts. And in situations where we fear danger, you know, it's called the fight or flight response. Fight or flight response, where you just, if you fear danger, you just want to get out of that situation, and it's in your primitive instinct to get out of that situation. However, it's quite frustrating and it's quite annoying, really, because in society today, you know, you're put in situations that you fear, and it's not great that your body's sort of, or your mind's sort of going, right, I need to get out of this situation, fight or flight response, my heart's going, I need to get out of this situation. And it's just about how it's all to do with sort of cognitive behaviour therapy, the book, and how you can sort of control your thoughts. And, you know, you might have thoughts like, oh my God, I'm going to stumble and I'm going to muck it up. But then you can just bring in other thoughts to overlap those thoughts, like, what's the worst that can happen at the end of the day? And stuff like that. And if you keep replacing those good thoughts on top of the bad thoughts, and keep replacing them, it does work, and you start to think positively all the time, and your confidence starts to grow. And to begin with, I thought it was actually quite silly that, you know, and I didn't want to, you know, I thought it was all, what's the word, like airy and, you know, mumble jumble sort of thing, that you can, you know, you can replace one thought and then you develop as a person, but you really do. It really does work, and that's an absolute great book. The other book that I really recommend is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers, and all about, you know, you might feel the fear, but just do it and develop. It's all to do with that exposure again. Another book that I've, you know, I haven't read it myself, but a lot of people have been recommending it, is it's the How to Develop Self-Confidence and Influence People Through Public Speaking, which is written by the same author as the book How to Make Friends and Influence People. I think that's what it's called, which is an absolute brilliant book, which I've read and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to read that book soon. But yeah, they're sort of the books that have helped me develop as a person, and helped me through, you know, self-confidence and anxiety issues as well. The other thing, I've actually had therapy as well. So I'll definitely seek help if you can and you want to, because it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, the sort of things that I found was, during my therapy, I sort of went there and said, like, obviously I want to be successful, I'm ambitious, I want to put myself into situations like public speaking in front of people, but I'm really nervous, and these are the reasons why. So what they did on the program was they pretty much created mock situations for me where I would public speak, or I would be put in an interview, or I'd be put in an assessment centre or anything like that, and create a whole mock scenario, and then I would have to, you know, see how I perform. And then what we'd do is we'd video the situation and then analyze it and see how I can improve, and my thoughts in those particular scenarios, what my thoughts were, and how I can override those thoughts with better thoughts, and all about, you know, positivity. Because it's so true that, you know, you have these feelings like, you know, nervousness and fear and stress, or whatever those fears are, but the power of just replacing one thought with another, it's just so powerful. Feeling how, you know, yeah. So just having a look at some other things here. Yeah. So the other really, really important thing that I believe is, you know, it's really, really good, in order to develop is putting yourself around positive people all the time. You want to network with positive people. For example, at the NatWest program that I went on for Do God Property, everyone there was just absolutely amazing, and they were so supportive. If you had a problem, or you stumbled in your speech or anything like that, everyone would clap and everyone would just encourage you through it. And even the talks where I was stumbling, I still got business from it. And you just need to know that there are people out there. Like, even if you look at these people that do speeches, prime ministers and people that do speeches all the time, they stumble on their words. You just got to understand that even if you do stumble, even if you do feel nervous, everyone goes through those sort of situations, and you can pull through it. And you just need to expose yourself, and as you go on and you go on and you go on, you just develop and you get better and you get better. Like I said, surrounding yourself with positive people. Hannah, who is my fiance and also my business partner with Do God Property, she's been absolutely brilliant. So just always surround yourself with positive people, and your confidence will start to grow. And that's definitely a thing that's helped me during get through my anxiety and develop as a person. Also, another thing is, whenever you feel anxious and you feel a lack of confidence, just watch motivational videos. I mean, people that have really helped me with things like this is Chris Evans, because he suffers with anxiety, and he was saying how he made me laugh, actually, because he used to say whenever he got bad thoughts or any sort of negative energy coming into his brain, he would just go shh to the negative energy, and it worked for him. And there was a lot of movies that he really, really didn't want to do because of his nerves and anxiety, and he did them anyway. He went through with them, and he just thought to himself, why did I ever have those nerves? Why did I ever have that anxiety? What was the point in worrying? You don't need to worry. Worrying is a choice. Why am I worrying about it? Why don't I just do it and then just see what happens? And it all worked out for him. So he's been absolutely influential. There's some videos on YouTube that have really helped. That he talks about his anxiety and his and it in relation to his acting. Will Smith's absolutely brilliant as well. His motivational videos have always helped. And Gary Vaynerchuk, he is absolutely brilliant, because his whole perspective on life is that I don't give a shit what people think. Whatever people think, I'm just going to do it. And it's absolutely great, because he's really helped me to think that when I go up, when I do a live or when I do a podcast or something like that, yes, I do feel very nervous. Yes, I don't like I don't particularly like doing it, but just don't care what people think and just go ahead with it. Like, you have one life and you've got to make the most out of it, and who cares what people think? Don't let that one person or two people put you down, because the majority of people are going to clap you and are going to give you the support. So the other thing that's really, really, really helped me is just being yourself as well. Like, when I first, started to go into situations in business and started to put myself, meeting clients, doing Facebook Lives for social media and, marketing ourselves and, all those sort of things, I always thought that I had to be this professional person, and I had to come up with a suit on and look all professional and say the right words and be really, really professional. But really, people buy the personality of that person. And I found that just being you, and even if you swear, whatever you do in life, just be yourself, and you will attract the people in your business, your power team. You will attract the people in your power team. You will attract the consumers you want. You will attract everyone around you that you want around you, that relate to you, and the people that you want to do business with as well. And actually, it was Ted Singh who pretty much said this to me about the whole fact that just being you is just the best thing. Like, there's so many people, like, for example, Gary V, he swears all the time and he's always just being exactly who he is. He's so genuine, and look how well he's done. So it's just being you. You don't need to be this professional person. I mean, I think times have changed. People don't, I turn up to meetings sometimes in jumpers and stuff like that. You know, you don't need to turn up in suits. You just need to be you. Stop trying to be someone else. So yeah, that's definitely a big one, that is. But the next one is yeah, so that's pretty much it for my points of what's helped me through my through my anxiety, and yeah, I want to document pretty much my journey now. You know, I haven't actually documented my journey much at all from when I've gotten from the stage of being, you know, really nervous and not doing anything to the stage where I am now, where I'm doing pretty much everything, even if I'm nervous. And you know, I still need to develop a bit more in regards to public speaking, and I'm really working on that. I'm going to Toastmasters. I'm putting myself in every single situation where I can public speak. I'm really working on it. But yeah, I'm going to start documenting my journey, and I'm putting a lot more in regards to personal development on our platform. I'm going to put it both on Do Good Property, but also on my personal profile, so my personal Instagram, my personal LinkedIn. And I'm just going to document my journey, and it's going to be, we're going to create a lot more on our Do Good Property platforms to do with motivation, mindset, and confidence as well, because, you know, we are helping people a lot with the property journey. We put out a lot of content to help people in property, but also in property and in business generally, there are a lot of, you know, most people do suffer with, you know, they don't have the motivation, they don't have mindset, they don't have confidence. So if we can put content out with that as well to go ahead with it, and, you know, build their confidence and self-develop as a person, we'd really you know, feel pride to help people and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna start we're gonna document a lot more, and you know, it helps me reach out as well. So when I reach out, it helps me and really helps to talk to people as much as you possibly can. That's a really important thing. And also, if we can help just one person, you know, through documenting the journey and what I'm doing and how I'm developing, and if I can just help one person through showing them the things I'm doing and the tips that I'm giving in order to develop, then I'll be really happy. So yeah, cheers guys, thanks for listening, and you know, I'll keep you posted with the journey that I'm going on, and yeah, if you're interested in anything else, any other information in how I've developed to where I am at the moment, just drop me a message, and I'll get back to you straight away. Cheers guys.